Friday, September 9th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I am meteorologist Matthew East, and some wonderful September weather set to unfold for us all weekend long and into the first couple of days of next work week, and then maybe the push of coolest air we have seen thus far this season arrives by the end of next week. In much of our region, we'll talk about that, plus the active tropics here as we go through today's edition of the video. There's the radar this morning. A lot of ground clutter here in the central and eastern part of the country, but there are some showers in Indiana and Illinois, and also still some lingering areas of rain in northeastern Ohio into Pennsylvania. Also notice right now we have Katia making its closest pass to the U.S. These are the outer rain bands with Katia not too far offshore from Cape Cod, but it's not going to make it inland, and that'll continue to now progress further out to sea and race across the North Atlantic Ocean. There you go with the watch warning and advisory situation this morning. A lot of flood products still in the parts of the northeastern United States into southern New England and the mid-Atlantic region. And it's been just a tremendous flooding event once again in many areas of that part of the country, unfortunately. The air mass, though, pretty comfortable in many spots. Lots of 50s and 60s over the central and the eastern parts of the country. Just kind of a cool, comfortable Friday morning. There's the upper air chart off the European model this afternoon. There goes Katia out to sea. Still this big upper-level low centered over the Ohio Valley that is largely comprised of what was once Tropical Storm Lee. Now, I wanted to show you a peek out toward the end of next week. This is Thursday evening. That's a sharp trough diving into the eastern part of the country. And again, like I mentioned, it looks like that's going to plunge the coolest air so far this season into much of the eastern half of the U.S. Let's take it day by day. Today, nice conditions. We'll see afternoon highs in the 80s with low levels of humidity, a lot of sunshine, and the forecast very much the same for the weekend here. That's Saturday evening's chart. There's Sunday evening. We're in great shape. Going into next work week, Monday, probably mid to maybe some upper 80s for highs, lots of sun. Tuesday, much the same. Here comes that cold front, though. There's our old friend, the freezing line up at 850 millibars making an appearance. And notice what happens here as we get a day later here into Wednesday of next week. You have some shower and thunderstorm activity out ahead of that front here. Maybe pressing into our region by Wednesday night or Thursday. There's Thursday's chart. But there's that chilly Canadian high pressure centered right over the Midwest as we get into late Thursday and Friday. And this is a shot of some pretty cool air into much of the eastern half of the country. We go a day later. And if this were right verbatim, boy, that'd be a chilly, rainy scenario around here for Friday. I don't know if we're going to get the rain or not. That's dependent on some amplification of an upper-level feature. But it does look like we get the cooler air in here by the end of next work week. And again, I think it will be the coolest air we've seen thus far this year. There's the European model valid Friday morning. That's, again, that chilly Canadian high pressure centered over Illinois, Indiana, and southern Michigan and Wisconsin. And just north winds driving in that cooler air into much of the southeastern part of the country. So if you like some cool autumn-feeling type of weather, you're probably going to like the end of next week. Now let's get into the tropics. Here is Katia's satellite image, and again, some reference points for you. There is the northeast coast of the United States right there. Now Katia is beginning that move to the northeast, and it's going to race very quickly across the North Atlantic Ocean and begin to affect at least parts of Europe by late Sunday and Monday. All right, let's go to Maria. I tell you, this is still not a healthy looking system at all. Kind of just looks like a non-tropical type of system overall, but it is still classified as a tropical storm, although a minimal one. And these are the Lesser Antilles now in the satellite view. And there's the spaghetti charts here on Maria. The most likely scenario is that this does turn just in time north and northeast to avoid a landfall here on the U.S. coast, but it could be close. There is the Hurricane Center forecast into the Bahamas by Sunday night and Monday. And again, most modeling does want to keep this just offshore. There's the Canadian model. Again, it's pretty close by Thursday of next week. The no gap's much the same, but I have not seen one model yet that actually brings it inland. But again, bears watching, but I think still a recurve just in time is the most likely scenario. And down to the Bay of Campeche, there is Nate. And the modeling getting into a little better agreement now that this is going to head west and into Mexico. You have one outlier there, but most modeling does take this into Mexico, and so does the National Hurricane Center forecast track. But it could be a slow process, probably not until Sunday night or Monday before this thing actually gets inland into Mexico. Okay, that is it for this Friday edition of the video. Have a great weekend, and God bless.